All right, guys, it's your boy GoBigReddie, and we're back, bro. Football season it's basically back. Like, there's NFL preseason football tonight, and guess what? There's even fall camp going on right now for the Huskers, and we're like less than 3 weeks away from Husker football. Literally less than 3 weeks away. Today is Thursday, and in 2 Thursdays, I don't even know, on the 31st, there's gonna be Husker football. And before we get started, I need to thank my sponsors for this Big Red podcast. We got Nebraska Auto Detail in Lincoln, the best auto detailers in all of Lincoln. A1 Automotive, the best auto shop in Lincoln. They're straight out of downtown Lincoln. We got the Warren Academy, the premier training site or spot for any athlete or any football player in the state of Nebraska. And last but not least, Soldier Sports, a sports apparel brand based out of Omaha that makes sure that players that are local, that play good, they also look good too. So let's get right into this, guys. We're gonna have a weekly show, and I think I'm gonna post it every Sunday or Monday, my reaction to every Husker football game you're gonna get here right on TikTok. I'll throw it on YouTube too with some previews on my Insta at GoBigReddie. But if you want to find anything about this podcast, it will literally be right here on this TikTok, or you can just go to my YouTube and all you got to search is GoBigReddie. And literally, we're just going to talk about Husker football, recruiting news, other Husker sports that pop up, because like we got the volleyball game happening in a bit, and we're going to have special guests and even, guess what, some prizes. And on today's show, we're going to get a little fall camp reaction. Fall camp just started this week. The boys, they're out camping. They're in the dorms. It's freaking awesome. We're also going to preview the offense, the defense, and maybe even a little bit of the special teams. And we're just going to finish it off with some fan questions. So guys, let's get ready. Let's have some fun. My very first Big Red podcast. And we're starting it off with the 2023 football season. Let's go. All right, guys, fall camp is finally here. You can almost feel football in the air. I mean, it's a little too humid out right now. I'm still like sweating my balls off, but listen, you can feel football coming. Literally, the Jets and the Browns are playing tonight. We may even see Aaron Rodgers play. Who knows? But guys, let's talk about fall camp right now. And I know, like, I'm supposed to be drinking the Kool-Aid, but it's not Husker football season unless we started off with a little bit of drama. And you know what happened? Bob Wager, our tight ends coach, he resigned basically because he got caught. He had a DUI. He even had like an open container in the car. Not smart, but I see Matt Rule. He's doing the right thing. As you can see right here, he just says that, look, yo, I love Bob Wager, but hey, we got a standard. So just listen.
Fortunate situation. I know he took responsibility for it, and I appreciate him for doing that. Not a lot of men would have handled it the way he did. And, I don't judge people by their tough moments or worse moments. I always judge them how they respond. I really appreciate him, and I'm thankful for him. I mean, it was a short time, but he brought some recruits here. He brought some of his kids here, so I appreciate him and wish him and his family the best.
Other than that, another little bit of drama we had was Miles Farmer. He's Nebraska's former starting safety. He was second on the team with tackles. He had over 70 tackles last year in 2022. And, well, I guess he got suspended, and Matt Rule said he wasn't living up to the standard. And really, Matt Rule thought that, like, yo, he put the ball in Miles Farmer's court, and he thought Miles Farmer was going to step up, be a man, or not even step up and be a man, but just step up and do what's right for the team, that he's been working so hard for. And, well, I guess freaking Miles Farmer, he decided to go and hit the transfer portal. We really don't need to talk about that because sayonara, buddy, but let's just move on and let's talk about the new way, like, the Huskers are practicing. Not really even new because, like, I mean, Tom Osborne used to do this, but listen, Matt Rule is making sure everyone gets reps, no matter whether it's the veterans or the new freaking freshmen who just pulled up to Lincoln a couple weeks ago. They are getting ready, and everyone is they're having a shot. They're getting reps, and it's just cool. Like, literally, just look at what Matt Rule had to say.
The most important thing to me is reps. As I told the young guys at the end, a lot of places in the country, the freshmen showed up and they got 5 reps in practice today, but our guys all got 40. So it's just kind of what Coach Osborne told me, like, make sure they all get reps.
And like Matt Rule said, he wants to make sure everyone is getting a shot. Everyone's getting reps. He already said, yo, football players that are veteran football players, they're going to be getting the shots. They're going to be the ones that are helping us win. And it's going to be up to the freshmen that really show out and really put in the extra effort, that want to be part of this team early on and help this team win. Like, literally, he talks about how the freshmen, some of them just need to, like, read their playbook and set their phone down. Just listen.
The number one thing that keeps young players from playing is their knowledge of the playbook. It slows them down, right? So I begged them at the end of practice, like, this is not my phone, but I was like, this will not help you play. Like, every minute you spend on this phone or playing the game does not help you play. Like, study your playbook. So that's the hardest thing. Like, very few guys will actually do it. Just is what it is, right? Like, but the ones who do, there'll be a couple freshmen that'll really buy into it, and they'll study it, and they'll be on a mission to play, and they'll help us, because the young players, we're going to win with the older players, but the young players can help us.
Like Rule said, you gotta put in the time and the effort. He has set a standard here at Nebraska, which we haven't seen in a while, and he's gonna make sure these players maintain and keep this standard. Shoot, he's even making sure the coaches maintain and keep this standard. You gotta love it, and it's just freaking awesome. And one last thing I gotta say about fall camp is you gotta look at how sweaty these coaches are. Look at them. If your coaches aren't putting in this much effort, should they even be D1 football coaches? I know it's a little hot outside, and don't get me wrong, these coaches, they're not in their best shape anymore, but hey, they're still putting in the work, and they're freaking putting in their blood, their sweat, and maybe even possibly their tears already, and we're only in a fall camp. So that's my little fall camp preview. It's not too much. We'll be talking about fall camp more while we get through this season. I mean, we're freaking so close to the football season. I can literally taste it. I can taste the runs, even though our first 2 games are away. I can literally taste the runs in Memorial Stadium. So let's just calm down a little. I'm already pumped. I'm even sweating a little. Holy moly. But guys, I am ready for football. So now let's move on to our offensive preview. And guys, we're going to have a whole new offense basically. So let's hope it's going to be fun. First, with our offensive preview, we got our new offensive coordinator, Marcus Satterfield. And let me just tell you, Marcus Satterfield, I personally, I know I'm supposed to be drinking the Kool-Aid. My name's freaking GoBigReddie, but I got to admit, I'm a little hesitant. He's from South Carolina, and I really feel like the fans at South Carolina, they were kind of conflicted. They were kind of happy he left, and some were kind of even mad that he left, because I think they thought that Satterfield, he hasn't finished his job. He was doing well. South Carolina isn't that bad, but man, he had Spencer Rattler out there, and who knows what he's going to be running now. He says he loves the fullback. I don't know if you remember his first press conference, but he talked about how when he coached here the very first time a couple years ago, 10 years, I don't even know how long ago it was, the very first play he ran was a fullback trap. And guess what? It gained a decent amount of yards. And I just got to say, I think Marcus Satterfield, he's going to do the right thing. He's going to bring the fullback back to Nebraska. We're going to start pounding the rock more. We're going to be huddling up more. We're not going to be running those fancy Oregon offenses with those dumb coaches that think that they can do this in the Big Ten. No, bro. Once you hit late October and November, you better have a running game, and you better be able to run it right through someone's chest, because that's just what the Big Ten is. It's not some soft football that they play in the Pac-12, Frost. But hey, we won't get into that. Other than that, we got a new quarterback, guys, because guess what? Casey Thompson, he's out of here. And we got Jeff Sims out of Georgia Tech. And the main question is, can Jeff stay healthy? I think that's been the main question for literally every single Husker quarterback for a while, because it all comes back to the offensive line. Can the offensive line help make sure that Jeff Sims stays healthy? I know that Jeff Sims has an arm, but I really think they're going to let Jeff use his legs this year. This kid is quick. He's sneaky fast. And don't get me wrong, he can toss the freaking rock. Like, this kid, he started 23 games in 3 seasons. He completed 57% of his passes, and guess what? He threw 30 touchdowns and, 23 interceptions. So one thing we're going to have to work on is the touchdown to interception ratio. It's stuff that we always say about Husker quarterbacks, and I really feel like the one thing that will help a Husker quarterback, or any Husker quarterback moving on now, is the offensive line, and that's basically Matt Rule's specialty. So I am not afraid to say that, hey, I think maybe Jeff Sims could be one of the best quarterbacks in the Big Ten West. I don't know about the Big Ten, but he definitely could be one of the best quarterbacks in the Big Ten West. And you gotta love a player, or even a Husker quarterback, that just knows what he's stepping into. He knows the standard that he has to uphold himself to, and he just knows that, I need to be right and do right by not only my team, but by the whole entire Husker sports community, because there's kids out there that look up to him that are 4, 5, 6 years old that want to be him one day. And he knows he has to be right. He has to be a good guy on the field, off the field, and he has to be good while he's playing. And I really think Jeff Sims knows what he needs to do, and he's respecting that starting quarterback job, because there's very few jobs in Nebraska that are as high profile at such a young age in Nebraska, such as the starting quarterback position job at Nebraska. Well, now let's move on to running back, where, guys, holy moly, I know I already said we're going to be pounding the rock, and I think for sure we're going to be doing it, because guess what? Our running back room is A1. It's golden. It's one room that we really don't have to worry about. 3 return as starters. We got Ramir Johnson, Gabe Irvin, and Anthony Grant all have starting experience, okay? Irvin is the youngest, and I guess I've been hearing, or not even I guess I've been hearing he has been an off-season practice machine, ladies and gentlemen. A machine. He's going hard. He's putting in the effort, and he's part of that top 10%. If you've been seeing those being posted, Gabe Ervin, I mean, holy moly, guys, you better watch out for him. And he's the youngest. Anthony Grant, we all know who he is. Listen, we all know what he did against Rutgers, where he literally almost killed a human. Okay, but listen, this guy, he is the man, the myth, the legend, and he just looks built. All our running backs just look built this year. And listen, we also got Ramir Johnson, and he's said to be like the perfect fit for a Rule and Satterfield offense. So we are truly blessed in the running back room. It's one room where we really do not have to worry about anything. I honestly believe that our running backs are going to help carry the load along with, our tight ends, which I will get to. Next, I believe this year our offensive line is going to take a step in the right direction, all right? Last year, we were plagued by suspensions and injuries, and right now, we don't have any suspensions to worry about. And, we have one little injury worry, and that's Teddy Prohaska, who's wearing a yellow shirt right now, which means, you can't really, hit him or anything. But, he's still out there practicing. But, listen, we got, oh, my gosh, I always mess up this name. Nuruddin Nuoli is back from suspension, and Teddy Prohaska, he's almost back from injury. So we got Turner Cochran, Nuruddin Nuoli, Teddy Prohaska, and Bryce Benhart all return as well. So the offensive line will be at full strength this year, ladies and gentlemen. And let's not forget Donovan Raiola. He's loved by Matt Rule. And Matt Rule, he kind of looks like he knows what he's doing. So I'm gonna trust him on this one. I know we didn't get Dylan Raiola because who knows, he wants to go play at Georgia and do whatever and be forgotten. But listen, I really believe Donovan Raiola. He's going to get the offensive line right. He's going to make sure these Huskers are ready to pound the rock. And he's going to make sure that these offensive linemen, they're ready for late games in November. They're ready for those snowy games. They're ready for those games that are going to matter. They're going to make or break our season. Make or break, maybe even possibly making a bowl game this year. Yes, I said that, but we'll come back with our record prediction in a week or two. So don't even get too excited. Who knows? Maybe I won't even say we're going to a bowl game. But other than that, the one room that actually scares me is, I guess, not the whole entire pass catching room. A little bit, but I still have faith in the tight ends, but it's the wide receiver room. We lost 75% of our passing yards last year, or our receiving yards last year. Trey Palmer is gone. Listen, we got, Travis Vokalek is gone. A bunch of guys have left that were catching passes for us. But listen, we got Marcus Washington, who had 471 yards in 2021, and Isaiah Garcia Castaneda, who had 120 yards. Yeah, he kind of had a good game, or one or two games, and then we kind of forgot about him, and he entered the transfer portal. But he is a Husker, and I think he's ready to have a quarterback like Jeff Sims and an offense run under Marcus Satterfield and Matt Rule, who have a running game, so we don't have to rely on the pass, or we don't have to have a quarterback running around everywhere being chased by a bunch of players. And other than that, guess who else is coming back? Bellevue West's very own Xavier Betts, who is said to be one of the fastest on the football team, right next to Malachi Coleman, a freshman. And we also got Jalen Lloyd, who is a speed demon out of Omaha West Side. So listen, ladies and gentlemen, I know our pass catching room seems a little bit scary right now, but I honestly believe that we might just be fine, because we got our tight end room, which is deep. We got Thomas Fedone, and we got Eric Gilbert, two big boys that I believe are going to be getting a lot of looks, not only when we're on the 40-yard line or the 35-yard line, but deep in the red zone. I believe that these tight ends this year, they're going to make a difference for the Huskers. I really think we're going to start using our tight ends and start helping pump out these tight ends into the NFL, because we got some big boys in that tight end room, and we even got more than Fedone and Eric Gilbert, I'm pretty sure. But those are the two you need to watch and you need to worry about. Listen, Thomas Fedone is 6'6", 235 pounds. He was one of the top tight end recruits in his class. Yes, he's been plagued by injuries, but listen to me. This kid, he is on a mission. He is on a mission to prove all the haters wrong. It doesn't matter who you are, whether you're that Cornhusker Juan dude or just some random person who thinks he's not going to make it. Thomas Fedone is out here to make sure that he lives up to his potential, that he knows that he's been hyped up this much, and he knows that he can do it, and I believe he can too. This guy is the man, the myth, the legend, and he'll have Eric Gilbert right next to him, an LSU transfer who is 6'6", 260 pounds. Try tackling that in the open field after he gets a pass caught. And he better not even be in the open field, because he is one of the biggest boys on the football field, so no one better lose him. But I bet you Marcus Satterfield and Matt Rule, they're going to drop some plays so he gets lost. And guys, that really is my whole entire offensive preview. Those are my players who I think you need to watch out for. Marcus Washington, Isaiah Garcia-Castaneda, Jeff Sims, Noradini, or whatever his name is, Teddy Prohaska, Thomas Fedone, all these players, Anthony Grant, Ramir Johnson, Gabe Irvin. These players are going to make a difference for you. And watch out for some freshmen, because I'm going to be talking about some freshmen in my next spot who you guys are definitely going to need to be watching out for. So now let's move on to my defensive preview. All right, next is the defensive preview, where I want to say we have a brand new team, but listen, I put 8 returning starters, but Miles Farmer's out of here, so now we got 7 returning starters, and we got a new defensive coordinator who's going to be running the 3-3-5. Yes, the 3-3-5 in the Big Ten. Who knows how that's going to look, but listen, I'm going to trust Rule, and I'm going to trust my boy Tony White that they're going to get the job done, and they're going to be ready to not only stop the run, but maybe we will actually have a freaking pass rush this year. It's been like, how long's it been since we had a pass rush? Like Randy Gregory 10 years ago? I don't remember the last time we had a lineman or a freaking end that just like wreaked havoc during a game, that made the quarterback just like not want to be there, you know? Like Randy Gregory or like an Ndamukong Suh. I don't even know. Like, we need someone that just helps the defense. And as for our returning starters, we got former walk-on Luke Reimer, who had 86 tackles last year. That's going to be playing linebacker, obviously. And this guy, he was at Big Ten Media Days. He was a walk-on who is at Big Ten Media Days, and he just knows what he's doing. He knows what he is. He's just living like the Nebraska kid's dream. And while besides Luke Reimer, we got 3 returning in our defensive backfield. We got Malcolm Herzog, who was the first true freshman to start at quarterback in 2022 since Lamar Jackson did it in 2016. And guess what? He started the last 8 games of the year. So yeah, I know he's coming in as a true sophomore, but listen, he is ready to go. He's already had that D1 experience. He's had almost like a whole entire season of D1 experience. And also, we got Quinton Newsome, who had 10 pass breakups, and he was a number 9 tackler on the team. And last but not least, we got transfer addition Corey Collier, who is from Florida. So the DB room, it's pretty deep, and I'm not going to be nervous because we even got some freaking freshmen out there who are going to be ready to play. And I told you, you got to be watching out for my pod that's going to be focusing on freshmen like Malachi Coleman, Jalen Lloyd, and a whole bunch of other ones. And honestly, guys, with our defensive line, we got a bunch of new faces. And we really don't have a proven pass rusher, like I said, but you need to be looking out for these guys. We got Cam Lenhart, Prince Will, I'm just going to say Prince Will, and MJ Sherman and Chief Borders. These guys are going to have to step up. Oh, and I forgot Blaze Gunnerson, all right? These guys are going to have to step up. We're running a whole new defense, a 3-3-5, and I heard that we're going to be having a lot of line changes. You know, we're not going to be keeping these guys in the whole entire game, tiring them out. We're going to have fresh legs in there a lot of the time and making sure these guys they're ready to rush the passer and they're ready to just wreak havoc on that defensive line. And let me just tell you, we need this defensive line to step up because, I mean, like I literally just said, we have not had a proven pass rusher, and I think that just having one or two players that can just maybe even like distract the quarterback or get in the quarterback's head, not even hit him, that would just go a long way for the Huskers. And other than that, guys, I really don't have anything else to say. That is my offense and defensive preview. Besides for my special teams preview, here's a clip of Tristan fucking Alvano, the GOAT, the legend, just casually kicking a freaking 50-yard field goal at practice. The true freshman. I really think he's going to be the starting kicker this year. So look out for Tristan Alvano. I may have to go get myself a Tristan Alvano like jersey from like Best of Big Red because I know they make those NIL jerseys. If you guys need one, go check that out. But other than that, guys, I'm pumped. We're so close to football season. You need to be watching the TikTok, watching the YouTube, looking out for all these previews because now let's move on to the fan questions where fans, they went ahead and just asked me whatever. And here we go. All right, first, we got a question from my boy Evan who says, what do you think about the new Husker football coach? And I'll tell you right now, I don't like drinking the Kool-Aid right away, but listen, every time we get a new Husker coach, I drink the Kool-Aid, and especially I'm doing it now because Matt Rule, he's doing it the right way. He's embracing Nebraska, and he's just like, he's being a true Nebraska coach. I feel like he is embracing the fans, embracing the tradition, embracing former coaches, former players. Like, former players are welcome. They don't feel alienated. Fans feel like they're actually getting like words, or they're actually like hearing something or learning something from this coach. And listen, this coach, he's upholding the standard. It doesn't matter whether you're a starting safety or you're a coach. It doesn't matter what you do. You got to be held accountable. And Coach Rule, he's doing that. So I'm telling you right now, I love what Coach Rule is doing, Evan. And I think he may get this thing turned around. That's what I really think is going to happen. And next, we got from Amy Christine. Who do you think the best underrated player will be? Oh my gosh. The best underrated player will be? I feel like it has to be Isaiah Garcia-Castaneda because Marcus Washington, he's going to open up and spread the field. And we got Fedoni and Eric Gilbert out there that our linebackers are going to have to worry about. Shoot, even safeties are going to have to worry about. So Isaiah Garcia-Castaneda out of the slot is going to be a killer this year. He's underrated. Like I said, he only had 120 receiving yards last year. But listen, this kid, he is going to be good. He's straight out of New Mexico. He's straight out of New Mexico State, okay? So listen, I believe in this kid. Just listen to me. I promise you. Next, we got from Big Tons. And last but not least, we got from Big Tom's 4454. What is your overall thoughts on our offensive line? What are your concerns with the offensive line? And D-line is a big concern. Well, my thoughts with the offensive line are, I know I'm drinking the Kool-Aid so far right now, and I'm even hyping them up right now, and I think we're going to be fine. But listen, they're going to have to come out and prove themselves early. We don't got no cupcake games to start. I mean, Colorado and Dion, they're kind of a cupcake, but we started off with a conference game, an away conference game at Minnesota. Both teams are going to be ready. Trust me, PJ Fleck is going to have that squad ready because, listen, he just loves playing the Huskers, and he loves talking shit, and I can't wait to talk shit to that little blonde or little bald fuck, okay? I fucking hate that dude. I can't stand PJ Fleck. And our defensive line, our defensive line has always been a big concern. And that's put up or shut up when it comes to defensive line. These kids, they need to be ready. They need to have, the Huskers need to have someone that is gonna just rush the passer, like I said. That is such like a main focus, not even this year, but I feel like in the next couple years, we get a pass rusher or we find a pass rusher that is already here in Lincoln that can and will get the job done. So I hope that is just what happens with the defensive line. And man, I hope our offensive line, they just stay healthy. But other than that, guys, it's been a fun podcast. You just saw some spit come out. I'm getting a little too excited, but it's been a fun podcast. I'd like to say again, thank you to my sponsors, Nebraska Auto Detail, the best auto detailer in freaking Lincoln, and freaking A1 Automotive. If you need to get anything done on your car, you need to go to A1 Automotive, the #1 auto shop in Lincoln. And they're right in downtown Lincoln, not too far from the stadium. And also, we got Warren Academy, the premier training spot for you if you're a football player. Steve Warren, a former NFLer and Husker football player, is out there training the top athletes and football players in the state. And last but not least, Soldier Sports. Go look up their Insta. They got a bunch of cool apparel. And other than that, guys, I can't wait to talk to you guys next week. And GBR as always. And don't forget, Fluke the Hawks.